Welcome to another update. I am now on 1.22.0 release candidate 7. Now, as you may see from my hands, the 3 bushes that we knew we were going to get have been added. Let me show you. We have over here quite a large one, a wild raspberry bush. Look at this. And this one is flowering. They're very pretty flowers, and a cutting, and I put them in this low fertility soil to prove we can put them in low fertility soil, which has been a change in the last update, I think. Then over here we have a berry that I've only eaten in Norway, which is cloudberries, and these are ripe. This is a cutting, it doesn't yet have a trait, and that is flowering. So those are beautiful, and they are like this, they are very low lying, I do know that, they're lovely. And then this one is massive. This is the blackberry. Look at this, with a cutting and ripe, so we can actually harvest this. Isn't that wonderful? So looking at that, I wanted to show you the berries. So we have the raspberries. Look at the colour of that. Absolutely beautiful. I would love some dye in that colour. We have this one, cloudberry juice and cloudberries, and this is blackberries, and those are truly dark. So I think those are 3 lovely additions. Now, one of the things that is confusing me is the actual description of these bushes. And it says here that they've added raspberry, blackberry and cloudberry plants. Blackberry and raspberry plants have a walk speed reduction. Now, what I'm not sure about is whether, let's just get rid of this, that is the plant itself, if you walk through it, or the fruit. Now it says plant, so I'm just wondering if I put down a lot of these. Think about where my door is here. All right, let's go and pop some down, and we can now put these on the neutral ground. And I am, of course, in creative doing all this in this weirdly familiar place. So if we were to put the blackberry bushes down, and they do go down, I'm not saying whether they should be ripe or anything, all I'm saying is that they're there. So if I go back into game mode 1, and yes, I have stopped time because I'm really worried about this. So if I walk through them, I think that slows my speed. I don't think I can run through them. Let's try it. So if I press control, hang on, control, no, it slows me down. So it may be the actual plant itself. Let me see under C. It doesn't say anything about that, but I think it's when you're wading past these, I feel that's slower. Now let's try something else. Let's eat these. Does this have an adverse effect on my walk speed? No, I don't think it does. There's nothing here to indicate to me that it slows me down. No, it's when I come into the bushes, yeah, they hold me up. I'm not surprised. I mean, these are huge bushes, absolutely huge bushes. Wow. Ripening, and they, you know, oh look, that one's ripe. It's hard to see when these bushes are ripe. I mean, I've got one of the old bushes here. This is a cranberry bush. but you could always see them, they were ripe. The berries are much harder to see now. Did those go in? They did. So it is correct, it is actually the plants themselves. How extraordinary. Okay, right, let's get this lot off my bar and go on to the next thing that's been changed. Okay, the next thing that has been changed is that they have added a command which is backslash announce near bracket range bracket message bracket, there's a couple of spaces between those two, to send an announcement in given block range only. I can imagine the one I might want to send is beware bear, and by the time I typed all that I'd be eaten. But I think that's quite a good thing, actually. The tailor buff has increased mender trait durability bonus from 10% to 25%. There is a better keyboard support for drop-down menus. We can now use the up, down, home, end keys for a selection or hovered index while expanded. That's great. They have tweaked that they can log additional information when the server is unable to save. Good grief. Not sure what's going on there. And they've tweaked again, retry autosave every 200 ms instead of every, 2000 ms instead of every 500 ms to still let through some server ticks. Resume the server on failed autosave. There you go. They fix many Z fighting, clipping and texture issues in the new clothing, which I love the new clothing. Now it says that the Crocs that were sealed in ground storage would not open properly in the update model. They have fixed that. The output stack in all recipe types except grid recipe didn't retain attributes on the client side. Apparently it now does. That's fixed. And an awful one was there was a crash when breaking rubble using a prospecting pick. That's been fixed. Oh, here we go. The artisan trader was selling complete tile blocks. Oh, I loved those. I bought so many when they first came in. It now sells the individual tile items, so you're going to have to buy the tiles and presumably use mortar to put them together. So basically they have increased the price of tiles. The other one was when buying an elk in winter, the snow could prevent elks from spawning. And I have to say, when you are wading up to your waist in snow, I can imagine that would be off-putting for spawning. That seems, but they fixed it, so the elks are a bit more resilient now. They've also fixed rare trader crashes when buying more than one stack. For example, plaster from the buildings material trader. So, wow, that was a bad crash if you're trying to sort of build enough plaster for your home and suddenly you find the game's gone. They fixed the crash to the desktop if re-clicking certain tabs in a customized world screen. Wow. And they've also fixed a rare wind pattern simplex noise octave exceptions. They have fixed a rare server lockup relating to internal chunk data locks, and they have fixed a rare crash when animating pouring from a container. Good grief. So just pouring out a jug of wine or a jug of water, the game would crash. That's a good one to fix. And they fixed /TP Tyron, that's E bracket ID equals 140 close bracket not working. So obviously there was something in the teleporting area that wasn't working, which has been fixed. They have fixed single pixel inaccuracies when clipping oversized items in GUI and in the item hover info element. That's fixed. And another one which was odd when against a wall in third party view, then opening a chest, yeah, I understand that, player would be able to interact with blocks through a wall. My gosh, do you remember the see-through sort of shorts we had on the mannequins where we've now been able to reach through a wall to interact with blocks? It's a good one to fix. They have fixed the forge work item temperature desync between the server and the client. They have fixed that hot coals flicker when adding stroke removing ingots. I wouldn't have minded the coals flickering, but obviously it wasn't meant to be. And they have fixed that raccoons are sometimes stuck on endless eat animation. Raccoons are quite greedy creatures, I can understand that one. They have fixed the game crashing when bulk grabbing items from a pile of items with a basket on top. Never struck me to even put a basket on top, but there you go. There's an API tweak. Clutter blocks can now define custom drops and a custom block material. Another API tweak. Whoa, come back. Hello. Whoops, I kicked. In the excitement, I kicked my mouse cord. Right, there's another one here. As API tweak, they've added a collectible attribute, and this is inverted commas, in crate shape, closed inverted commas, for custom in crate shapes. Another API tweak, recipe loader load methods made public for use in mods. They remain static though. Another API tweak, further JSON documentations by Dana. Another API fixed, and this is inverted commas, in barrel shape, closed inverted commas, attribute not working as intended. Another API fix, accidentally changed how the milk type was loaded from JSON for milking behavior. Okay. Wow, that's a lot of API tweaks. Now we come on to the 1.22 related changes. Ah, yes. Well, there we are. Now, some of you who know me well will know, let me just check what I'm in, yeah, that I have absolutely been enjoying myself with the worm grunting. And I've never, that was a wolf. I haven't got a knife on me. Wonderful. Let's get rid of these trees first. Then we've got a little bit of root. Yeah, I have loved the worm grunting. It's something totally new to me. And I must say, being able to just put down cuttings where you want them in any soil and plants is just fantastic. I think being able to use this soil is fabulous. Oh, that's right. Hello. Let's take some food. And I do have a knife. I just couldn't see it for looking. Right. Okay. That's nice. Now, using the knife, let's get ourselves a worm grunting tool. Yeah, this is what we're talking about. Take these off my bar so that we can put a stick in for worm grunting. Now, this has been tweaked, and I think this is quite sensible. And they've described it as worm grunting nerfs, right? And it said that spawn rate goes down when the temperature is below 10 degrees, decreasing all the way to 0 spawn rate when below 0 centigrade. Now, I do know that worms do tend to go further underground when it's cold, in case they do get frozen solid. So I don't dispute that one. However, they have reduced the maximum amount a location can yield. Now, I don't know. Come here. I don't know when it says a location. Do they mean one block? No, that's not a good block. Oh, look. Let's keep going on that block. Okay. And they've still got this irritating thing where the noise goes on even when you stop on that block. Let's try another block. Because I used to be able to get up to 4. 2. I wonder if it's, oh wow, I don't think it's per block. I think it's in one location. Can you see how it keeps going on a little bit? Right, no. Oh gosh. Really? They're not being picked up. Ah. It won't pick them up when there's grass down. And that was more than 3 worms, but it comes up as a total of 3 worms. Is that right? Yeah, that's only 3 worms. They have reduced the amount of worms you can get from one location. I'm not sure I've proved that or disproved it. Now, the next one is that there used to be an extra glow near a held or dropped light source, no longer visible during daylight. Well, we can check that out. Let's just have a look at. Let's try that again. Right. Okay, let's come away. I don't see any difference in the light levels. Oh, well, I can see it. Maybe I'm not doing it properly. Anyway, it is supposed not to be there. So there we go on that one. Okay. Now it says that held and planted berry bush cuttings now display their trays. So let's grab one that has a trait. Ripening. Has this got a trait? Flowering. Ripening. 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 Well, none of those have traits. Let's go and see if some of our others do. And also, I do think this is correct because I looked at my berry bushes up here. Yeah, and when you look at them, see, when I took these up, they didn't have traits, but you can see where the trait would be. Let's have a look at the ones we've just planted. Let's see if they've got traits. No. Oh, here we are. Look. Let's get the cutting. Oh, it does. That's brilliant. That is absolutely brilliant. We wouldn't want that, but it does work. So that's fantastic. I'm happy about that. That's very helpful, actually. That's a good one. Right, they have switched the body slot for rawhide mantle and rawhide tunic. I thought they switched this last time, and I spent hours looking at these fabulous mantles. I'm not going back on that one. It's been switched. Now it says that the bellows was not mentioned in any handbook guides and had no explanatory text. Now, if you are watching my series, you will know that I was looking this up because I was trying to establish under bellows whether it did show me anything about it. Right, crude bellows. Oh, here we are. Oh, it has durability. That's what was missing. Excellent, well done. Bellows are used to more quickly raise the temperature of workpieces in a forge. They will not affect fire pits. That's a useful addition. You can work bronze and copper materials effectively without a bellows. But working iron will be very difficult without a bellows. Good. So if we go back, so that's 500 durability. The small bellows is doesn't give the durability on the small bellows. Right, bellows are used to move more quickly. Yes, 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 yes. That's the same. So let's have a look at these crude bellows. Yes, so we've got the durability there. Burn duration 20 seconds. And then in these, I did want to compare them. Burn duration 20 seconds, okay. Burn temperature 600. And we don't have the duration. Burn temperature 600. Okay, so if we go, have they got the big ones sorted? No, they haven't got the duration. Burn temperature, 600. I suppose that's when you burn them. Maybe they're infinite. Oh, that might be it. Okay, that's only 500. So maybe, shall we assume happily that those are infinite? Mind you, bellows do last a long time. Okay. Right, there was a crash when picking up some items with tongs that has been fixed. And you could be kicked from a server when harvesting berry bushes with a knife. Well, I'm not on a server, but I've not been kicked off for that. You could crash when riding an elk in multiplayer, or the game could, oh my gosh. And they've changed the spelling in the handbook from propagate to propagate, that's fine. They've adjusted warmth values for new clothing. Aprons had the wrong colour. A couple of missing translation entries have been added. Placing a cabinet caused other nearby players to crash in release candidate 6. Oh my gosh, what a way of trolling people to cause them to crash. That's not good. Bet that came as a nasty surprise to some players. Someone puts a cabinet near you and you're gone. Aged and very aged cabinets for missing textures. They've still had problems with those. The fishing pole eats a stack of bait. Oh gosh. Apparently now it doesn't. Thank goodness for that. Water was not always spreading horizontally along channels with half slabs forming sides. And rapid flowing water continuously oscillating between two different routes. Yes, this rapidly flowing water. I have a feeling people are trying to make more than one farm, which is causing them some interesting issues. And rapidly flowing water, minor issues. For example, a block could be left behind if double backed on itself, okay? And the worm grunting stick was not placeable solo. Okay, let's have a look at this. Can we place this worm grunting stick? Would it be like most tools where you can place it there? It is! Excellent. That looks great. Okay. Then they fixed another case of the snow shovel deleting blocks. That seems to be a pretty permanent problem with these snow shovels. I've never lived in that cold a climate, or I've never shoveled snow. And then the last one is that, I wish I'd realised this before this one was fixed. Fertilised berry bushes produced upgraded soil that could be harvested. Oh my word, upgrade your soil. I love it. So my friends, release candidate 7. Oh my goodness, a stable release is coming forwards. I'm not sure about the worms and what was going on there. I was trying to show you something and I may have shown you something totally different. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. I'm looking forward to the rest of this update. I hope you have enjoyed this video. If you have, leave a like, leave a comment, and thank you for all your comments in the past. Bye bye, my friends.